Assalamualaikum, greetings and salutations. My name is Nurul Ain, matric number 223000802, and today we will be presenting about Reading Skills Guide for 6-year students, which is the analysis of 3 reading texts and vocabulary and comprehension. The members are including the first one is Nur Fatini Kalisa, the second one is Nurin Alia, and the third one is myself, Nurul Ain. Now, moving on to the next slide, which is the objective of the project. So, the main objective is to explore and discuss 3 different text types which is suitable for the 6-year student, and we will also want to identify and analyze the main ideas supporting details, predictions and reading skills found in each text, and it is also to build the students' vocabulary by selecting 50 useful words and creating a multiple choice questions with distractors. So this can help to improve students' reading comprehension through engaging and level appropriate content. So these are the 3 reading texts that we have chosen. The first one is friendship, the second one is food and restaurant, and the third one is the boy who cried wolf. So this is the first article that we have chose. The title is friendship. As for the Article 1 analysis, the main ideas from the article is friendship is a valuable relationship that involves emotional support, trust, and being there for one and another in all situations. As for the subsequent ideas, one of them are the true friends listen without judgment and are dependable. Friends can have disagreements, but forgiveness strengthens their bond, and friendships help individuals become better, more understanding people. As for the predictions, peoples can predict that genuine friendships will last longer due to trust and empathy, and the text suggests that honesty, supportive friendships will continue to be important throughout life. So another point to ponder is the reading skills applied. So there are skimming, scanning, inference, and connecting. So as for skimming, the students can quickly identify the main message about friendship. Scanning to locate specific qualities of a good friend. Inference to understand emotions and meaning behind phrases like never truly alone. And connecting, students can relate to these texts to their own experience with friends. So as for the conclusion for this analysis for text 1, in short, the text really shows that real friendship means helping, trusting, and caring for each other. A good friend is someone who supports us in happy and sad times, and by being kind and forgiving, we can build strong friendships.
Hi, my name is Noor Fartini Khalisa binti Zaki, and I'm going to continue with the Article 2. For Article 2, we focus on a text titled Eating Out, taken from the British Council's B1 reading exercises. This article introduces readers to a variety of restaurants and cafes, each offering something different like vegetarian dishes, traditional Indian food, and popular desserts. It also highlights what makes each place special, such as unique menus, price range, and atmosphere. In this part, we will highlight the key reading skills we use to analyze the text. First, we identify the main ideas, which function as the central message or topic for the article. The main ideas introduces a range of restaurants and cafes. It highlights unique offerings and specialties, and helps readers choose a venue based on taste or occasion. For example, traditional Indian meals at last day of the Raj or vegetarian-friendly options at the Lemon Tree. Then we look at the subsequent ideas, which are the supporting details that explain or expand on the main idea. For the last day of the Raj, Indian the subsequent ideas is Indian meals, ideals for pre or post show dining, garden setting. For the For the A Taste of Tuscany, the subsequent ideas is stylish, traditional, and contemporary Italian dishes and Italian trained chefs. Next, for the chocolate box, it focuses on chocolates and sweets. For the lemon tree, it is vegetarian friendly, locally sourced ingredients. And lastly, for the musical chairs, the subsequent ideas is live music every night except Sundays. We also practice making predictions where we guess what might happen next based on clues in the text. So, in the article, each description also allows readers to make predictions about the popularity and future trends of these restaurants. For example, from the chocolate box, which focuses exclusively on chocolates and sweets, one can predict that theme cafes will continue to attract dessert lovers. And other skills include skimming, which quickly identifies main ideas, scanning, which finds specific details, for example, vegetarian options and live music, and lastly, for contextual clues, which infers atmosphere and vibe, for example, music determine the lively spot. In the conclusion, eating out is more than a listing of restaurants. Main ideas introduce each venue, details helps readers make informed dining choices, and lastly provides a vivid guide for memorable culinary experiences.
So I choose the short story The Boy Who Cried Wolf because it is simple, meaningful, and easy for year 6 students to understand. And the story teaches a strong moral lesson about honesty and trust, which is something that's very relevant for 11 to 12 years old students as they start to understand the impact of their actions. Next, the language is also age appropriate. It includes everyday words like lie, truth, and regret, along with slightly more advanced vocabulary like deceive and credibility, which gonna helps students to expand their understanding without being too difficult. And plus, the story is short and structured very clearly, which makes it great for practicing reading skills like prediction, inference, and summarizing. Overall, it's very relatable, easy to teach, and perfect for upper primary learners. Hello everyone, my name is Nurin Alia and I'm gonna be continuing our presentation and I'll be presenting the third article, which is a classic short story many of us know, which called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Although it may seem simple at first, the story actually delivers a powerful lesson about honesty, responsibility, and the consequences of our action. So, the main idea of this short story is that honesty builds trust, while repeated lies can destroy your credibility. So, in the story, we can tell that the boy lies to the villagers twice about a wolf attacking his sheep. And when the real wolf finally comes, no one actually believes him and he loses his entire flock. And this shows that our actions have real and sometimes irreversible effects. Next, there are also a few smaller ideas we pick up, like how even a small lie can lead to bigger problems. For example, the villagers' reactions, how they get angrier each time, really show how lying affects relationships. And in the end, the boy has to take full responsibility for what had happened. And that's what we call personal accountability right there. And for the predictions, student can predict that the villagers will ignore the boy after the second lie. This is based on the pattern recognitions. And second, student might infer that the boy will struggle to regain trust in the future, which what we call the cause and effect reasoning. All right. Now, this story also works great for teaching reading skills. For example, student can skim to find the main events like when the shepherd lies and what will happen after. They can scan for keywords like deceive or consequence. And we can also practice inference like figuring out how the villagers feel just from their actions. If they cross their arm or frowning, we can guess that they are annoyed. Even if the story doesn't say it directly, and it is super relatable. For example, student can connect this to real life stuff like what happens if you fake being sick too often. Eventually, people will stop believing you. So let me throw in a few quick vocabulary that I catch in the short story. First is deceive. What does it mean? Is to make someone believe something untrue. And the second one is consequence. Consequence means the result of an action. And the third one is credibility. Credibility means the quality of being trusted. These vocabulary words are powerful because they don't just appear in the story. You feel what they mean through what happens to the boy. Next, finally, to conclude, the boy who cried wolf remind us that trust is fragile, and once it's broken, it is really hard to repair. And it encourages readers, especially young ones, to think before acting and to value honesty in all situations. Because when people trust us, they believe us when it matters the most. Thank you.
Now let's move on to our vocabulary highlights. In this section, we have compiled a total of 50 vocabulary words that were selected from all three reading texts. These words are carefully chosen to be age appropriate for Year 6 pupils, and each one is connected to the theme and context of its respective article. We didn't just list the word for each vocabulary item. We have also included the part of speech and a simple student-friendly definition. This helps pupils not only understand the words better but also remember and use them correctly in their own writing and speaking. This vocabulary overview supports pupils' comprehension and helps build their language skills in a meaningful way. Here we are presenting a sample of vocabulary words taken from the three articles we analyzed. For Article 1, friendship, we selected words like precious, adjective, which means very special or valuable. And next, we choose rely, a verb, which means to depend on someone. And lastly, we chose support, a noun, or it could be noun or verb, which mean to help or give encouragement. From Article 2, Food and Restaurant, we chose vegetarian, a noun, which means someone who does not eat meat. Reasonable, adjective, which means fair or not too expensive. And customer, a noun, which means a person who buys something. And for Article 3, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, we included shepherd, a noun, which means someone who takes care of sheep. Next, we chose deceive, a, a verb, which means to trick or lie to someone. And lastly, we chose consequence, a noun, which means the result of an action. As you can see, each word comes with its part of speech and a simple, clear definition. This helps people not to just memorize the words, but also understand how they are used in different contexts.
Alright, so this slide shows how we design our multiple choice questions, and each question is based on a vocabulary word taken directly from the text that we've chosen and that from the text that we've analyzed. And we also make sure to use contextual clues so that the question match how the word is used in the story. Also, we were very careful when creating the distractors or wrong answer because we wanted them to sound believable so that our students have to really think critically about the meaning of each word instead of just guessing. And next, here are the two sample multiple choice questions that we've created. The first one tests the word precious in the sentence. Friendship is one of the most precious things. The correct answer is valuable, but we included choices like useless and cheap to make students think carefully. And for the second question is based on a text about a restaurant called Last Day of the Raj. We ask what brave customers can request, and the correct answer is an extra hot dish. Again, we added distractors that sounds realistic, so it is a bit more challenging to the student. All right, finally, here what we've learned and some challenges that we faced during doing this project paper. We learned how to find the main ideas and supporting details in different reading texts. We also practice important reading skills like skimming, scanning, making predictions, making inference, and we learn how to choose vocabulary, words, and build proper multiple choice questions. And as for challenges, it wasn't easy finding texts that were interesting but still suitable for year 6 student. And coming up with good distractors was also tricky. We have to make sure that they were not too obvious. And of course, we have to manage our time properly to get everything done on time. And that's all from us. Thank you.
To wrap up, we'd like to thank the sources used for this project, especially the three reading texts: Friendship, Food and Restaurant, and The Boy Who Cried Wolf. That's the end of the presentation. Thank you for listening, and we hope it was clear and useful.